Hey everybody, all right, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about this. I picked this up at the pawn shop for $140. Welcome to my channel. And so, as you know, I picked this up at the pawn shop. I just told you that. This is an item that, at first, I got it for one thing, and it turns out this might be one of those mystery purchases that you get more than you expected out of it. Now, basically, what this is from Heritage Arms, and this is the Heritage Rough Rider 22 caliber. Now I have one of these already, right? I got the one I think I showed on the channel. It's got the American flag scales. I saw this one and I really liked it, but the reason that I got it was because this one is actually calibered in 22 Magnum. So this has a little bit more powerful of 22 bullets that you can fire out of this. And so, but the reason that this one is, in my opinion, a great buy, right? Because it's always good when you can have, and like all the screws are in it, so everything is. My other one is missing one screw. I gotta buy a screw for it, but it does have a. Let's see if you can notice it here, but if you notice right here, right, the hammer, when it goes down, it's like out of there. Now with this right here, pull this down and the hammer actually hits the striking pin. So this one here actually does have a safety on it, and basically it's a bar in the back here that goes up and down, and so that bar prevents it from hitting the striking pin. So still don't recommend dry firing it, but this right here might be if you can get one of these ones, if you can get one of these Heritage 22 revolvers. They make them in 6 and 8 round cylinders. This is a 6-cylinder one. But one of the great things about this is that, and I didn't know this at the time that I bought this one, right? Because I already have one that's in 22 long rifle, and this one's 22 Magnum, so I was like, perfect. But this one actually has the 22 long rifle cylinder in it also. Now the other one I got, the box, all it had in it was the plastic cylinder cover was in the box, and I didn't realize what it was until I got this one. And at first when I opened this up, I didn't even realize it was there, because I just saw the plastic ring and I'm all, oh yeah, like man, 22 Magnum, nice, because it is a little more powerful than 22 long rifle. And then I looked down and I saw the second cylinder, and I was like, fantastic, right? And I mean, it's super easy, because you know, all you do is you essentially pull this pin out here, you press the button on here, you pull the pin out, your cylinder comes out, right? Then you take your 22 long rifle cylinder, right? You slide that sucker in. Press your button. It is pretty simple. It's just not wanting to participate right there. You put your cylinder in, right? And now you have 22 long rifle. So so the fact that it comes with both cylinders makes this a really good item for survival purposes. 22 long rifle is a good round. Don't get me wrong. It gets, I don't think it gets enough love. The 22 long rifle. In all honesty, everybody should. If you're only gonna have, even if you don't really like guns, if you're only gonna have one firearm in the house, you should have a 22 long rifle. See, pin out, cylinder out. cylinder cover back on the back. 22 WMR, 22 Winchester. If you're only going to have one firearm in the house, I really do recommend it to be 22 long rifle. But the reason that I say that this one is so incredible is because, yes, it has not only does it have the 22 Magnum, but it also has your 22 long rifle. And so if you pick up one of these, and it's not just this one, it's the Heritage in general. I just didn't think about it because, and I was thinking about ordering the other cylinder for it, but if you get both cylinders in the one thing, then it's great. So if you see one of these, like especially at a pawn shop, again, $140, and you essentially you have two handguns, 22 Magnum, 22 long rifle. Granted, they're both 22s, but if you look it up, right, the difference, I'll put a picture up here, around here somewhere. I'll put the size comparison between the 22 rifle and the 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum. So right here, you see that right there? You can see the difference now. So with that being said, the 22 Magnum is a little bit more powerful because it does have a little more powder, so it'll go a little bit faster, a little bit harder, a little bit farther. So this revolver right now is set 22 Magnum. So what is that? What does that mean? That means that some of your more medium-sized threats you may encounter, coyotes, wolves, you could actually defend yourself with a 22 Magnum a little bit better than a 22 long. 22 long rifle will work, but the Magnum is going to do a little bit more damage, and you're going to be a little bit safer. So, but the fact that, and especially if you do end up in a scavenging type situation and you're looking for bullets, to have one firearm that fires multiple calibers is good, because you may be scavenging and you find a house, right? And again, I'm not saying break into people's houses, but we're talking, this is SHTF, the apocalypse, whatever. We're talking, it is a survival situation. You go into a house, you might find a box of 22 long rifle or 22 Magnum, because they are very popular across the United States. They're like I think 22 long rifle is probably, like I said, everybody should have one. Most people do have one. And so that means that if you are breaking into houses and stuff, in a survival situation, again, you're not committing any crimes at this point in time. This is just scavenging. I'm not talking about like robbing anything, but you might find a box of 22 long rifle. You might find a box of 22 Magnum. It's very common. You might find a box of either. Well, with this one right here, you find either of those calibers, and those are very common calibers. You can fire it out of this revolver. So that makes this gun a good asset when you have that second cylinder. It makes this gun a fantastic asset in a survival situation. So, and again, Heritage Arms Manufacturing, Rough Rider. But yeah, and it came with both cylinders. So if you get one, I mean, even if you have one, it's good anyway. Because another thing, I know I mentioned this before in my previous video, but look, right? If this doesn't fire, right? It fires. Okay, move on to the next round, right? Move on to the next round, right? The action of this, it just spins, right? You're not going to get a jam, right? You're not going to get a jam. You clean these off, even if you haven't used this in a while, it might be dirty and stuff. You get rid of the dust, guess what? It's still going to spin, because the action is so incredibly simple on a revolver. That's why I think that revolvers still have a place in modern survival, because I am not, this right here would be the last gun in my arsenal that I would worry about having a malfunction. And if it does, even if it gets jammed in there, you can take the whole cylinder out, then you can pop it out through here. It's easy to clear. Everything about this revolver is very user friendly. So another one of the reasons why I want to get a lever action rifle, because lever action rifles are almost, I mean, if you're good with a lever action rifle, you know, you can be just as fast with a lever action as you are with say an AR platform, because you know if you're good with it, you know, if you're good with it, it's semi-automatic. As fast as you can rack that lever, you're gonna be putting those rounds down range. And so, but again, the same thing is they're, you know, easy to clear, easy to maintain. Bolt action, same thing. I have a couple bolt action rifles, but you're more likely to get a jam in a bolt action rifle. You could get a double feed. You're not going to get a double feed in a revolver. You're not. And if you add this, if you get this, and then you get, oh, I forget the name of it. It's Savage puts it out, but it's pretty much, it's an over under 22 long rifle, 12 gauge, 22 long rifle, 20 gauge, 22 to 410. You can get them in different. I would probably go with the 20 gauge or the 12 gauge, just because it's the most popular shotgun shell out there. But so if you have a rifle that's break action, right? You break it in half, you pull the shells, you put them in. You're not gonna have a jam. If it doesn't fire, boom, you pop it out, you put another one in, boom, you move on. Now, those are slow, yes, but they're very, very reliable. It's, I mean, you know, it's like the 410 that I have, which, don't sleep on 410. And now that the shells are easier to find, don't sleep on 410s. 410s are good too. They're a shotgun. They're good for small game. And again, getting rid of all of the romanticism of prepping and survival, right? More than likely, your handgun is going to be used to protect yourself from animals or to hunt. More than likely, this is going to be used to hunt. So, a break action 410, that's good to hunt. Like turkey, you can take out turkeys with a 410. You can take, you know, so you can take out birds. But the fact that you have a 410 and a 22, well, if you see a squirrel, a rabbit, you know, boom. Now it's like you don't have to switch firearms. You have them both right there. So they're really good. They're really good for hunting. And again, when it comes to survival, when it comes down to a survival situation, your firearm, the firearm you choose, you need it to be, the first purpose needs to be hunting. That's it. So your first firearm that you think about, you got to have hunting in mind. This one here, yeah, you might, I mean, you'd have to get real good with it, but you know, you can hunt rabbits and squirrels. You can hunt rabbits, you can hunt squirrels. Birds, not so much. You might be able to, but rabbits, squirrels, badgers. I don't want to eat it, but if you had to. But you know, skunks, porcupines, a lot of these wild animals that you may encounter, you can hunt with this. The fact this has 22 Magnum, well, if you a chance encounter with a coyote or a wolf, well, you know, that 22 Magnum is gonna make them rethink coming at you. So, and again, I have two of these. So, I mean, ideally, if I'm in a survival situation, I'm gonna take both of my revolvers for sure, because I have one that's 22 Magnum, one 22 long rifle. Well, if I see something that's small like a rabbit, 22 long rifle, done. Right? Oh, I have trouble with coyotes or something. Not only do I have this, which is more powerful, but I have the second one as well. You know, and if you think about it, a lot of the reasons that that people used to carry, you know, two revolvers. You know, I'm talking like, you know what, when, you know, when they were, you know, expanding in the West, you know, the cowboys, you know, and they would carry, like, they might have a lever action rifle, but a lot of times they would have twin 6-shooters, right? And why is that? Because reloading, you know, if you have one, you get 6 shots. If you have 2, you got 12 shots. Well, 12 is better than 6. So, and that, you know, that gives you more time to get somewhere where you can reload. But if you have like a pack of wolves coming at you, you might need both revolvers, just so that, you know, you can you know, keep the wolf pack away. So, and again, you'll make them think. But the 22 Magnum is a pretty good round. But yeah, so that's it. I got that at the pawn shop, $140. It was like, even after tax and everything, it was like 168. So I recommend it. I really do. I think a lot of people sleep on 22, but everybody should have a 22 in their house. If you only have one firearm in your house, you should have a 22. And 22 is something that almost anybody can use because there's no kick. You know, the pop isn't too loud. It's not a loud round, but it's easy to maintain. And the other thing, right? Revolvers are incredibly easy to maintain, right? Because you pop the cylinder out, you can clean out the barrel. You can clean out the cylinder with just you get your plastic brush. I have to get a brush for these ones for 22, but easy to maintain. They'll take a beating. These suckers are easy to maintain. Revolvers, very reliable. The likelihood of this this letting you down is extremely slim. So and again, it's easy to control. You're ready. Okay, nothing's coming. Pull the hammer back. Let it down. Plus, we have our bar there to keep it from hitting the firing pin anyway. So, good firearm. Good firearm. I like it. It's a lot of fun, and shooting 22 is fun. You shooting the cans and everything. Shake those cans up. Pop it. But anyway, that's it. So Heritage Manufacturing, made in the USA. If you even new, you're probably not going to pay. You're still going to probably pay under $200 new. I'm not sure. I'll go look it up and put it up here somewhere. But you get a Heritage Manufacturing revolver. You get a Ruger 2210, and you're good. You're going to have rounds. Be able to hunt, and again, all romanticism aside, it's like, yeah, I've got axes and machetes and crossbows and all kinds of survival gadgets around me, survival radios. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. But when you really think about survival, more than likely, if you're thinking about a firearm, it's going to be for hunting. So get a smart firearm for hunting. I'm not saying don't get, I've got 9mm, I've got 45, I've got all kinds of calibers. I'm not saying don't get those calibers, because you might have to protect yourself from other people, and you might need those larger rounds. But make sure, do not just say, oh well, okay, I got my AR-15, so now I'm good. If you're dealing with small game, if all you have to eat is pick from is rabbit and squirrel, you're gonna want 22 so you don't damage, because you hit that with an AR-15 and you're gonna do so much damage to that meat because it's such a small target. No, you're gonna want a smaller caliber so that you can make the most out of your kill, or out of your hunting. So, but that's it. Hey, if you like this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're growing slowly but surely. We're growing. We're gonna get up there one day. Remember, I hit 500 subscribers. I'm gonna have 2 giveaways. We got a bunch of survival stuff, 1 giveaway, and we are working on this this fishing kit here. This grab bag of all different types of lures and hooks and stuff, and some soft baits in there. So you too can have you can win this right here. And when it comes time to do the actual giveaways, I'll go through those videos will be up there, and then that way I'll tell you how to enter that. But I got to hit 500 subscribers first. So hey, if you have a friend that you think might like like watching these videos, please make sure they like watching the videos, so I don't get I am trying to work on my algorithm, so I'm not trying to just beg for general stuff. But if you know somebody that might like it, let them know. Say, hey, check this guy out. I'd really appreciate it, because again, once I hit that 500 mark, we're gonna have those giveaways. I had when I hit, was it 250? Hit 250. 100. Yeah, when I hit 250, I had a giveaway. Paul's Gear Review, the guy there, he won it. It was a Mora. I had built like a survival kit on a Mora, so he won that. But this next one, I'm gonna have 2 giveaways, and then after 500, then the next benchmark to hit is 1,000. And so when I hit 1,000, we're gonna have even better giveaway. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Until next video, keep prepping.